I need your help, whether that's for contributions or direct help for the YouTube channel or the website, so I can be relieved of all these little chores that I've been doing up until this point, so I can actually and finally focus on producing high quality content. Vigorous Steve here. So before we go back to the regular programming, I want to give you guys a little bit of an insight on what's going to happen to this YouTube channel from 2023 and onwards. I'm solely going to focus on natty or nuts, exposing fake naturals. I also want to do a reaction style content where I really highlight another fitness influencer's flaws and tell you guys exactly what they're doing wrong while omitting all of their accomplishments. We're going to use clickbait titles, very spicy thumbnails, keep the videos nice and concise, nice and short, 5 minutes, 7 minutes at maximum, place ads every minute because you never know how many ads YouTube are going to show, and then make sure I get to 1 million subscribers by the end of this year. Over my dead body. That's not the direction I'm going to take this YouTube channel. That's not why you guys are subscribed. You guys are here for the deep dives and the very lengthy and informative content that you can make actionable decisions with. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to keep that trajectory going. And if that means I only get 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year, or I'm going to be stuck at 70,000 subscribers, I honestly don't care. After meeting so many of you guys at the Mr. Olympia in Los Angeles and in Las Vegas after my trip to the United States, this is the content you guys love. This is the content that you guys appreciate. And this is the content that I'm going to make going forward. But that also means I'm going to focus more on quality over quantity. It's very difficult to make high quality content that is 20, 30, sometimes 45 minutes long with overlays, a lot of edits, right? Making sure that I have all of my anecdotal evidence and all of my scientific evidence lined up. So that might mean that there is going to be 1 video per week, maybe 2 videos per week. And if I get lucky, a video every day. The most important thing for me going forward is that all of the videos are going to be high in production value, high in quality, factually correct, while simultaneously mixing in a healthy amount of bro science to keep things practical and applicable to real world situations. Because as we all know, there's a huge gap between the current scientific literature and the real world. I mean, we're not going to go by the abstracts of rodent studies and then hope that that's magically going to play out in the real world. So I'm here to bridge that gap using the 25 years of experience that I have as a bodybuilder and in the fitness community, helping a decent amount of people along the way, way more than I thought after going to the Olympia. That really opened my eyes. So here we are, quality over quantity, a couple videos per week, but they're going to contain all of the actionable ideas and information that you need to make better decisions going forward. I want to ask you guys if anybody's actually watching these shorts. When I post them on Instagram, they get a lot of traction. But when I post them on YouTube, they get very little. And even though the shorts are monetized now, I'm not really sure if it's hurting my channel going forward. So let me know down below if you're actually watching the shorts here on YouTube. And if you're not watching them, are you watching them on Instagram instead? And do you enjoy watching them? Again, it takes a lot of time to produce these shorts. And even though all of the footage has already been recorded, I mean, I'm simply repurposing old videos into short form content. It still takes me hours to produce. I have to make a new thumbnail. I have to compress a particular topic to within 1 minute and make sure that it's digestible yet snappy and easy to understand to keep up with the audience retention. I have to apply subtitles and color code particular keywords to really make that stand out. It takes hours out of my day. And with the upcoming video topics that I want for long form content on this YouTube channel, I'll post them on the screen right now. That's just a sample of all the videos, ideas that I have for the next couple of weeks. Most of these are going to be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes with a ton of overlays and a ton of additional work that I need to do to make sure that these videos are of the utmost highest quality that I can present to you guys. Honestly, it gives me anxiety just to go through the editing process. Not only the recording, which takes hours, but the editing afterwards. Even though my wife is helping on the back end a ton, she really makes sure that I only have to proof watch the final product and then add in the overlays and make sure that the shorts are of the highest quality before they go out to the public. She shaves hours out of my day. It takes her hours to get that done. But I could be spending this time so much better. I could be spending this doing consultations or helping people one-on-one. I could be spending this doing additional research and making sure that the content that I want to produce is of even higher quality. So I need your help. I've looked on Fiverr, I've looked on onlinejobs.ph where you can hire Filipino editors. There's so many websites that I looked for editors, but none of them understand the subject matter. I don't blame them. They're very good at editing, but I need one of you guys, somebody of the Vigorous crew, who is actually a professional editor, who can help me with this. First things first, I'm going to start a Patreon. I want you guys to support me in this. The YouTube channel barely makes any money, right? The AdSense that I generate every month is not enough to hire an editor. So I'm going to start a Patreon for you guys if you want, right? It's completely up to you. You can support the channel and hopefully we can generate enough money for me to hire an editor alongside of the AdSense revenue that I generate. That is now going to my wife because she's helping me so much on the back end. And honestly, I'm making a loss on this YouTube channel. The amount of money that I've been investing on editors and additional help has always been a lot more than the amount of money I was able to generate with AdSense. And knowing which restrictions are going to come to YouTube from this year going forward, I mean, you can't even swear anymore. How are you going to convey your message without throwing in a couple swear words? Anyway, limited monetization on my YouTube channel kind of forces me to go to Patreon route. So hopefully with you guys' generosity, I'll be able to hire one editor or maybe even more. Again, this is going to be an editor from this fitness community, somebody who's familiar with the content of this YouTube channel, ideally somebody who's already part of the Vigorous crew. Send your applications in by email, info@vigoroussteve.com. I want to see your editing skills. I want to see a video of you talking to the camera on why you want to work with me going forwards. Now, before you apply, a fair warning from yours truly, I'm not easy to work with, or at least that's what my wife tells me. So that's why I think she's okay with me hiring an editor and just leaving the entire editing process to another professional so she can be relieved of this duty. I'm not easy to work with. I know this. I'm very particular on how I want these YouTube videos and Instagram Reels to look like. I have an upload window to adhere to because if you don't upload within 1 or 2 hours of everybody being online on YouTube and Instagram, the algorithm doesn't pick you up. So if I miss that deadline, the video will be posted the next day. Otherwise, no views, no AdSense revenue, basically. If you can deliver, though, you'll find that I'm quite generous. If you can give me a close to finished product of 99% complete, and I only have to proof watch it once with a couple suggestions and it can go live afterwards. Again, I'm very generous because it takes a lot of time away from the editing that I've been doing up until this point for the last 3 years, that I can actually focus on research, consultations, one-on-one work, or spending some more time with my cats, which I now have 6 of them. So if you want to apply, info@vigoroussteve.com, send me your resume, send me your previous contributions, your editing skills, show it to me. And if you guys are generous and the Patreon does well, I do want to reinvest some of the surplus, besides hiring an editor, back into the studio, because I'm getting kind of tired of the Epcot water cube stripper lighting setup that I've been recording in for the last year or so. I mean, there's nothing to see here besides these biceps. And even then, you know, I mean, does this setup really represent what I'm trying to portray here on this YouTube channel? I think we can do a lot better. So whatever you guys contribute or donate to the Patreon, I will 100% reinvest into this YouTube channel, or the website for that matter, because the website I made myself maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And again, I'm not really a web designer. I just used something of WordPress and then tried to make it look somewhat decent. So if there's even more money generated with the Patreon, I want to hire a web designer and convert some of these old documents that I've been having sitting on my computer from the old private Facebook group and just make that public. I mean, up until now, I didn't really have time to do that, but hopefully now with an editor and perhaps a web designer or web developer, I can finally publish those articles for free for your reading enjoyment. I mean, there's 1,500 pages worth of articles that I can still publish, and with a little bit of manipulation and making them up to date, obviously, and some spelling check and grammar updates. I think that could be a very valuable source of information. Plus, I can use those articles as a script to produce additional videos for this YouTube channel. So big changes coming. And then hopefully, if everything goes smoothly and I no longer have to micromanage every little step of this Vigorous Steve operation that I've been doing for the last 3 years, then I can finally focus on those ebooks again. I mean, I have a 95% finished ebook about fat loss pharmacology that just sits there, but I didn't have time to finish it. And I have 25 other topics for ebooks just waiting there for me to finish them, but I didn't have time. So hopefully I can kind of smooth this operation out a little bit using your generosity for the Patreon account. You can find the link for the Patreon account down below, by the way, in the YouTube description section, as you can find all of my sponsors and affiliates right there. And the sponsors and affiliates that I can't post on YouTube, you can find on my website, vigorsteve.com. This is going to be the route for 2023, basically expand or die with one of you guys, maybe a multitude of people from the Vigorous crew. I need your help, whether that's for contributions or direct help for the YouTube channel or the website, so I can be relieved of all these little chores that I've been doing up until this point, so I can actually and finally focus on producing high quality content. I'll leave it here. The next video you're going to see is going to be educational and informational and perhaps a little bit of entertaining as well. Stay tuned for that one. If you're not subscribed yet, now would be a good time to do so. Vigorous crew, you guys know what to do. A front Happy New Year front double bicep for you guys. This is going to be the year that I come off cycle and get my wife pregnant. So enjoy it while it lasts. And they're going to get smaller and less impressive looking going forward. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys for all of your support. I think the next video I'll do is a little review of my trip to the United States, which, long story short, was absolutely phenomenal. Best holiday ever. But I'll leave that for the next video. Stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.